So I am at the Chatuchak Weekend Market and we're stopping just for a quick lunch at this tiny little noodle stall, and it's called Kae Cat, and Kae is noodles, and Cat is sort of a lineage of Chinese people who, there's quite a big presence of them in Thailand. And so their unique thing with their noodles is they've got these little meatballs that are made with pork and shrimp, and so this is sort of what distinguishes their noodles from the standard Thai noodles. So I've got here wide rice noodles, tom yum style, which means that it's spicy and it's got lime juice and ground peanuts. I've actually never had this before, and it's it's not very meaty. It's a little bit doughy, so there's a bit of there's more flour in it. It's tasty, but it's definitely got a bouncy texture, and some of them, if you notice, has tofu. It's sort of like merged in with the tofu right here. I'm gonna try some of that raw. It's really good, just a little tart, pretty spicy. I don't need to dress it up much with anything, but if you really like it strong, you might want to add a little fish sauce, a little sugar, but overall this is really tasty. And my brother here got pretty much the same thing except with egg noodles, and these ones are really bright yellow and really nice and chewy. He always goes for the egg noodles. I usually go for the rice noodles. At Chatuchak, you can find lots of tiny little restaurants like this cute little one. I mean, the space here is such a premium, so each restaurant will only have a little bit of space, but it makes it super cute. And even Thailand did not escape hipsterization of coffee. Here we are, individually dripped coffee, which I thought was a very Vancouver thing, but apparently Bangkok is getting a little bit of it as well. So here's a nice little air-conditioned area in the market. It's a nice break if you're just getting a little too hot. There's all sorts of beer from all over the place. And of course, here, if you want to go really rustic, you can just sit around the corner and eat at one of these places that just serve a variety of dishes over rice. This is what we call ran khao gang. And of course, there's a food court that has basically everything you can possibly want. The options are endless here. But I will tell you one secret, that my biggest food poisoning episode happened here after I got some food here. So I'm not saying you can't have food here. I'm just saying I would recommend and stick with hot food and be prepared. And a lot of people always ask me where to find certain Thai cooking equipment, and Chatuchak Market is actually a pretty good place to come. I mean, you'll likely come here anyway just to shop around, and there are a good variety of mortars and pestles and noodle strainers and even my brass wok. A lot of people ask about my brass wok, and you can even get tiny little mortars and pestles. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So this is granite. It's $3.70. It's not cheap for sure, but it's useful for when you only want to do, you know, small grinding. There's even square ones. So cute. And just to cool us off, I'm gonna get some coconut ice cream. And in the Chatuchak Market, you'll find lots of different vendors that sells coconut ice cream in a coconut shell with lots of different toppings. So I'm gonna get me one of those. So they're gonna start out with a coconut shell, and he's scraping off the coconut meat. And that coconut is sort of like halfway between old and young. So the meat is young enough to eat, but it's got a little bit of it's a little more toothsome. So the coconut will be sort of part of the whole deal. And coconut ice cream is going down. ในไอติมกะทิป่ะคะ ข้าวเหนียวค่ะ and a little bit of sticky rice, and that's coconut sticky rice. It's just been dyed green, probably with food coloring. And then with this place, you can put on your own topping, so you can put as much as you want. I always like a little palm seed. My favorite. It's super sticky and it's sort of a chewy, it's sort of like the texture of really firm jelly beans. Nata de coco. I've used this in my recipes before. It's basically it's a little, it's jelly, but it's a byproduct of a bacterial fermentation of coconut water. I know that doesn't sound good, but it tastes really good. I don't want any corns. Always the toasted peanuts. This is a must for me. And that's it. That's all I want. I'm gonna try a bite. We'll see. I mean, like, I don't have high hopes for these places because there's so many of them and you just don't know if they're any good. But when it's hot and you're hungry, it'll do. It's not bad. It's surprisingly good, actually. Sticky rice is a little bit hard. They could have cooked it a little more thoroughly, but otherwise, it's a great treat.